This podcast is rated MA. It may contain coarse language, sexual situations, and fantasy violence. It is not recommended for persons under 17.
Welcome to the 5th edition D&D podcast, The Rise of Tiamat and the Dragon Queen's Horde. Episode 0, The Mother, Part 1. I am Andrew Felling, the Dungeon Master.
I am Kirk, and I'm playing Caradin, the Wood Elf Monk.
I am Mary, and I am playing Zelania, the Wood Elf Sorcerer.
And I am Seth, playing the Dragonborn Paladin, Cespedes.
I guess kind of like some background on where you guys are and what you'll be doing. Going pretty basic with this one. You are a newly established adventuring party. For whatever reasons, you have decided to leave your previous lives and go out and seek fortune, adventure, and glory. Along the road, you all met each other, came together, and what you decided that the best place to go is to the large port city of Rothlin. It's actually two cities in one, as it was a human settlement. It started off as a human settlement and small port next to a growing dwarf mine. Well, as the mine got to bring in more money, the human settlement would then ship out the goods, and it just continued to build upward the city and downward the mine. So you have Rothlin, which is up top, which is the port, and then you literally have Undertown, which is below. The main city is built up of primarily humans. There are a few elves there. There are a few halflings that also take up residence. Below the city, primarily dwarves. Again, humans go down, or also have residence down there. Major forms of in-town craftsmen are obviously blacksmithing, but also jewel crafting, because you find a lot of very semi-precious, they haven't struck diamonds or anything like that, but semi-precious stones, so they set those. And with the growth of this city, which almost came up to be like a capital city inside, it's like the richness of the steel and silver that they get out of this has really just caused the city to grow up huge. So there are, along the outermost portion of it, are farms. That literally, all they do is they just produce the grain and vegetables for the town. And how do you guys want to approach the town? Do you want to come in from the land, or do you want to come in from by sea? Either's an option.
It does not matter to me.
I'm up for whatever.
I like a boat.
Boat it
All
is.
right then, boat.
Okay. Well, I mean, come on. How often it's like, yes, you start on the weirly dusty trail. Where are you? I'm on a boat, month.
Yep.
Okay.
Were there mermaids? I'd be excited about that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Also, I should point out that she doesn't believe in wearing shirts. She has reasons, but she just doesn't.
So nothing up top?
Nothing up top.
Okay.
In general, she doesn't like clothing, but she's willing to wear a skirt. She's also an elf who's 5'1" and only 110 pounds, so it's not like she's super well endowed either, but just so you know.
You are the cabin boy. Okay. That's fine. Her boobs are showing.
I know, right?
Oh my god. This fictional character exists just in her mind. Her boobs are showing.
I know. She's
It's
also
a good
very
way to
chaotic.
throw attackers off.
Right.
Look at my boobs.
That's,
What?
Hey, you never know.
I actually was in a game with this one point in time where obviously he rolled an intimidation roll, but to freak out people who are attacking him, this guy literally picked up a pile of horse shit on the ground and just smushed it into his own face. So it's hey, look, a distraction, or trying to just freak out people. Whatever your tactic is, go for it.
I put those in the wrong spot. Writing cantrips in first level and third level. Everything's terrible. I got it.
All right. So you guys have been on a boat for the last 4 days. The name of the ship is the Coral's Ruby, and just after the break of dawn, you hear from down below in the cabin where you guys have been sleeping, "Land ho, port sighted," and everyone starts getting up and about and wrestling to all the ship hands. The ship, in addition to carrying the three of you, has 2 or 3 other passengers and a whole lot of cargo, and the cabin is really just hammocks hanging among the cargo bay, which is where you guys have been staying. For the most part, you guys have not really been allowed topside, as you are not seasoned sailors, and they did not want to risk having you go overboard and just that whole debacle. You would get up there for about maybe an hour or two each day, but for the most part, you guys have just been down inside stewing with all this cargo. The captain of your vessel is one Connor Flynn. He's a pretty portly human male. He seems to have a nice manner about him, but he never really seems to have kind words. Like a really distant father. All in all, the travel to Rothlin has been pretty uneventful. There was one day of some very heavy rains that caused a lot of rocking. Kirk, because you don't have a name, you got sick that day and just hated it. Just hated it and everything about it. But
it figures. I got payback from an Exalted game where there was a lot of sickness and boat riding, so I'll take it.
I wasn't part of that game. But
no, it was bad. It was like 2 weeks of terrible weather on a fucking boat.
Ugh.
Everyone was sick. I think everyone eventually failed all their roles.
But it's Connor who comes down to inform you. Just officially, it's like, you've seen land. Get all your shit together so you can get off safely and go about your business. And he immediately, he has a small pause if anybody says something, but if not, he just turns right back around and goes right back up.
Caroden. Caroden.
Caroden?
Yep.
Okay. I now have you in the initiative tracker.
Sweet.
By initiative tracker, I mean Excel sheet.
Mary, what's your character's name again?
Zell. Xell.
And Seth, what's your guys?
Cespedes.
Could you spell it, please?
Yes, please.
Cespidus.
Sespiudes?
D-U-S?
DUS.
Yeah, just
No E.
Pidus.
DUS. Okay.
Okay.
And Kirk, failures again one more time. Sorry.
Mine is Caroden. 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 And Mary, what were you? What
I'm
class?
a wood elf sorcerer. Atlantic. Chaos is my life.
So
I'm
you're
experienced in
23.
law.
She's 87, but yeah, essentially.
Do we have to roll for that, or do we just pick it?
You can just pick it.
100 was like the base start.
Yeah,
for
which is
elves?
why I rolled
Oh.
it. I rolled high or low, and then I rolled a d20, and I ended up subtracting
It's
because the
interesting.
high or low was add or subtract. Because I like random.
Random is good. I'm surprised they don't have a little
Yeah, they got rid of that table.
with everything.
They still have the height and weight table, but they got rid of the starting age table.
But they brought it back in a later book, so it's all weird. They were like, "Oh yeah, people liked that," or "Oops, we accidentally left that out."
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'm 118.
Oh, there's also a big black sort of spreading tattoo in the middle of her back, which has a lot to do with why she doesn't like to wear clothes, because it's actually a curse.
To chafe your nipples.
No,
It's on her back.
It chafes the curse mark.
That's a Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
All right, I'm ready.
my nipples.
they're sensitive.
Okay, so you've landed, you've gotten all your gear together.
Yes.
The captain does actually see you and the other two passengers. I don't know why that word was escaping me. The other two passengers off the ship. He does thank you for your patronage, and then
Will you be staying, or are you leaving right away?
he just goes, we'll probably dry dock for a few days. Basic repair maintenance because we were out for so long.
Good to know.
You just kind of anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you. I have no business here.
I don't know why we're here, but it looks like fun.
Yeah. So the premise for you guys being here was you were out just seeking adventure, and this city just seemed like a good place to start.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We're on a
Well,
dock,
should we go seek our fortune?
which means there are taverns.
Yes, there are taverns.
Okay.
Okay. So
Unless anybody starts heading somewhere else.
yeah, no, this is kind of like a drop in, go open world. But yes. So do you ask around, or you just look for the first? Do you just go to the first building that looks like a tavern?
What?
Do we want to go to the seediest place in town, or do we want to go to
Oh, I don't
something a
care.
little more upscale?
If they have, alcohol and fun, let's go there.
Seedy it is.
And it actually doesn't take you long to find seedy, especially because the first thing you hit is, a port. So, and you follow one or two sailors, and immediately you find it. It's called the Hag's Nest.
Nice.
And it is just these. It looks like it was built out of driftwood. this structure. Somehow, it does in fact have 2 floors. I would not trust the second floor. But you go in, and sure enough, there are people laughing it up. There are, there is a bard trying to play. You cannot hear him. Oh, and especially just over the few sailors shouting, "Play the Ruby of the Sea!" "No, that's piss. Play Octopus's Lullaby." And just every time someone shouts a new request, he's like, just trying to and you can see him strumming, but no sound is coming out over the din of this place.
Is anyone throwing bottles at him?
No one at him.
Nice.
All right. So you are in CD Tavern. What do you do?
Yes.
Find a table against a wall that's empty, or looks like it's close to being empty.
Okay.
Go up and sit down.
All right.
Can we dance with your dates?
I do have a small hood up.
Okay.
It's not much.
So you do find a table, and it is not in one piece, but it is up.
Okay. Sit at it gingerly.
The chair, very sturdy. Like it's been reinforced
Note to
several
self.
times.
So we go to beat somebody with.
All right. Seth, you actually asked something. What did you say?
What? I said, can we dance with your dates?
Go for it. I won't stop you.
That's a what movie is that? Is that Animal House? Animal House?
Sounds
reference?
right.
I think so.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Just make sure the seat is sturdy enough for our dragonborn paladin.
You
with armor and all.
sit down, and it doesn't move. You try to wiggle it. It doesn't wiggle.
Doesn't groan or squeak.
No, it is. And again, just kind of fascinated with this chair. You actually do take a quick look, and you see that there are
Lots of nails.
there are lots of nails and extra pieces of wood. There is actually an iron bar running along the back.
Nice.
Just literally anything you could cobble together to make a chair. But I mean,
The only way to hold me up.
it's not going to fall apart. And the thing is, you look around, and many of the chairs, or at least the ones you're able to find, all the seem to be like this. It was cheaper to grab some wood and just nail it back to it than buying a new chair. That seems to be the whole motif going with this entire place. It's easier to just throw more wood at it than to actually repair.
Then to get better wood.
Right. Or
Patrons.
patrons.
Or things. Or patrons.
And as you say that and inspecting this, you actually do see a patron go through a piece of wall.
Nice.
So now there's a new window.
Just
Yep.
sit still. Wait for a.
Are there servers?
There are no servers.
All right. In that case, I'm going to go to the bar.
Okay. At the bar, you do see a half-orc, actually, tending it. He's got, the eye patch and the rag going back over his head. He is cleaning a metal cup.
Nice.
And as you go up to the bar, you do notice that all of the cups are, in fact, metal, and they are all dinged to high hell.
As I get up to follow her, I turn back and Cespedes, what would you like to drink?
Nothing. And I give you a scowl and let you walk away.
I walk away. Up to the bar. Our friend is having air. Free air.
That seems just like missed opportunities. So what do you have to drink that is good?
I got gin, and I got ale.
You have gin.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I have that?
He reaches under the bar, pulls a bottle, sets it down, and he just goes, silver.
Like for the bottle?
It's not good, gin.
Okay. I give him his silver and I take the bottle. That
I put
was
2
not
silvers down
what I
and say the same.
expected.
Twice.
Again, he just reaches under real quick, 2 more bottles of gin, scoops up your sin, and goes, thank you.
Head back to the table.
Gin doesn't have to be good. If it tastes like a pine tree, it's delicious. It's still gin. I'll drink it.
Walk back, sit down, look at the Dragonborn.
It smells like piss in here.
I must have misunderstood you when I put a bottle of gin in front of him.
This smells like piss, too.
I don't think you could drink it. I don't think you can handle it, but I got you one anyway. Sip.
Actually, it's good stuff. Not the worst. This coming from,
bad.
having been on a boat for the last, 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and you need to settle your stomach after the, yeah.
So,
Also, typically it's better to go with the hard alcohol instead of the ale because the brewing process kills most of the shit that would be in it if it's bad. I guess the distilling process, you don't brew.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's all good. I don't
There
know
are-
how you brew things.
there are things inside of you that need to die.
Does there look like there's any factions in here that are taking up court? Like holding court in this place?
Oh, in this specific one? No, it is a real just
Sailors.
mess. Roll me a quick perception.
Passive?
Everybody?
No, this is because you're actually looking around the room.
12.
12. Okay. Really just anybody who wants to take in the surrounding.
Actually, it's my first passive.
Hang on. I'm finding my D20. I'm finding my good D20, and it's not wanting to be found.
What'd you get, Seth?
There's a tiny D6 that ran away.
There we go. It's marginally better than passive. I got a 15.
13.
Okay. Cespedes and Carradine don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. It just looks like a bunch of sailors. You're not sure if they're drunken or not, just having severe rabble-rousings with each other. Zell, what you notice is everyone at a table seems to either be wearing a certain color or having the same tattoo, kind of as a way of unifying which group is which. But they are, in fact, all intermingling with each other. No one seems to come up to bother you all, but at the same point in time, none of you look like sailors. And you do kind of get this feeling that, like, no one is minding you being there, but you are definitely out of place and noticed.
So the sense of the rest of the tables, is it more like specific ship's crews sitting together, or are they locals?
Given your location and what you rolled, you'd say these are more like ship crews.
Okay. All right. Clannish, but not antagonistic.
I don't know. You just saw a guy get thrown through a wall.
It's not really antagonistic. He still has all his teeth.
No, he doesn't. He's a sailor.
No, well, he didn't lose any to the wall.
You're right. Not to the wall.
There are levels to these things. It's fine.
All right.
Does the bard ever get a chance to actually get a song going?
Definitely not within the first, we'll call it hour of you guys sitting there and nipping on your gin. People have started shouting at him less, but you still can't hear anything just because it's everyone is screaming. Like, even talking to each other, you have to be leaned in and, have your voice raised.
What time is it? I forgot. If you
Probably
said.
about 2 or 3 hours after dawn.
Okay. So it's morning. Okay.
Yeah, it's morning.
All right.
So these are all probably either guys still drunk from the night before, or
Guys on shore leave with nothing better to do.
who just docked over the evening.
So after this, what do we want to do?
We could wander around the city.
I mean, I like that idea.
I agree.
So no one bats an eye at shirtless.
No?
That's odd.
I don't think it's odd, but I grew up in the wilderness where nobody was around and didn't care. I'm a wood elf outlander. It's
No, and yeah, you do probably think that is odd. First of all, you think she's odd in general, but then, like, nobody is saying anything.
Room full of possibly really horny sailors, all drunken. She's all right. Just perusing the crowd.
By her own definition she gave, she looked boyish. So that might be why no one's paying attention to the shirtless boy.
yeah. I rolled randomly this time. I rolled differently randomly last time, but this time, 5-1, 110. I don't think there's, I don't think bras are necessary at that point.
So I mean, like, if she's not, if she looks like a shirtless boy in a skirt, I mean, and these are drunk sailors, so they probably don't have the wear enough to distinguish between.
Also, she's an elf anyway, so like there's probably gender ambiguity there anyway.
True.
See, what you want to do is you want to come back here, about 3 hours after sunset, where people are a little more ambitious.
It's true. It's morning. People are trying to get over their hangovers still. We can see if this place has a fun market or a fun anything. I don't know.
I'm going to stand up, pick up my bottle of gin, and walk out.
Okay.
And as I'm walking out, I might throw it at somebody. but that's yet to be determined.
Okay.
I follow him out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get up and follow him. He seems like the type to get himself into trouble,
Lots and lots of trouble.
which means I either want
No, I
to be
obey
there
the
to
law.
enjoy it or watch.
I have to obey the law.
Are you? You could be any.
You can't be any alignment. Yes.
Yeah.
For both clerics and paladins, you just have to be one step away from what your god is, at most. So if it's a chaotic evil god, you can be neutral evil or you can be chaotic neutral, and that still counts as only one step away.
Yeah. So Seth, your character
Yes.
is lawful good or just
Yes,
lawful good?
lawful good,
And
yeah.
Kirk,
A neutral.
okay. I'm chaotic
Straight up
good.
neutral.
Just, I was curious.
All right. So
All right, well, we're following the Dragonborn, who seems to be unhappy with our choice of establishment. So,
all right. So
Follow
as you walk out of the hag's nest,
still carrying my gin.
yeah,
I bought that. It's coming with me.
You own it. And as you move further away from the port, because it is so close to dawn, everything does kind of get more and more quiet. And there is this little chill on the air. You are aware of it, but you've been on a boat for 4 days, so you're kind of used to it. So as you move through more into the center of town towards the marketplace, on the air you smell freshly baking breads from bakers who had gotten up, and they're pulling those first breakfast loaves out of the oven. You do hear tent poles being propped up as shop stands are opening up, and just everyone just kind of real blurry-eyed, just going around their morning routines.
Does it look like it rained here recently or anything crazy like a storm or?
No, it doesn't really look like that. I wouldn't necessarily say things are dry because it is, a port town and there's morning dew everywhere. But no, nothing that really looks like recent rain.
I need to find the butcher.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Roll investigation. Or perception, whichever's higher.
I can imagine him just stopping and going, I need to
need
find
to
a
find a
butcher.
butcher.
And like takes off in a random direction. We're like,
Right. That's
Okay.
exactly like in my head. He said that out
14.
loud. I was
14. You
I
actually
assume
find
you skip and I'm following behind,
Yeah,
skipping
why
and
not?
You actually do.
Grumpy?
You're pretty. It's pretty easy to find a butcher. There's actually a guy who's got he's got a little pop-up stand in the middle of a square. He has meats that are drying, hanging, and he actually has a small little grill on the side. So he's willing to chop something up, throw it on the grill for you, and serve it to you right there.
nice.
Probably not so much skipping because
I
I'm
don't
like
need to
a third
grill
of a
it.
bottle of gin in, so that getting that far
How
off the
mu-
ground sounds dangerous.
High skip.
Yeah.
How much if I don't grill it? I don't need to grill it.
Okay. Well, it kind of depends what you want to buy. He's got, he's got some deer. He's got some quail.
Yeah. Give me a leg of deer.
A leg of deer. Okay, that 2 copper. It's a meal.
All
Is
right.
it 10 to 1, copper or silver?
Yeah, 10
Yes.
going up.
And then electrum is weird
Yay.
because electrums are half of a
They
gold.
simplified it.
Yeah.
Well, it's always been 10 to 1 going up.
That was like 25 to 1.
The
At least in
electrums are
3.5 it was it's 10 to 10 to 10.
But yeah, so for 2 copper, he cuts off a chunk of a deer legs and puts it in some parchment paper, hands it off to you, and just kind of goes in. He does just kind of like size you, going, "Oh, you look like you can handle yourself."
No, I'm just gonna take off the wrapper and start eating.
He kind of like looks, noting your armor. He goes, "Yeah, you look like a fine piece yourself, if you don't mind me saying."
I am actually standing over here laughing because
Caradon's head slowly just pulls to the side view of him, like looks him up and down, pulls back.
Okay, thank you.
You're new to town.
Is his tail wagging?
Yes. We're looking for work.
who said anything about work?
If you
What?
if you're willing to throw some muscle behind there's a missive board over by the lawmaster's holdings, and I believe there's a missive that you'd be really interested in.
Is there a church around here? What's your faith, Cespedes?
I don't know that I picked one.
Kind of important.
For a paladin?
Paladin.
Yeah.
I'm the paladin of.
He goes,
I didn't pick one.
okay.
I'm the paladin
I
of
just
insert
believe really
religion
hard.
here.
Well, because he's kind of basing his assessment off of what you'd be going for from that Mrs. board, because you said you were lawful good, so I was assuming you were one of the lawful good gods.
Yes.
Iomida or...
All right.
What are the
Or
gods? Where are the
Bahamut.
gods?
Bahamut is a dragon god who happens to be lawful good.
That's right.
There we go. I'll take that one.
Okay, cool.
And he is the god of, the
Oh
metallic
no!
dragons.
Okay, I just forgot to click it. I wrote it. I wrote everything down on this piece of paper, and yeah, I did take Bahamut.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I asked where the Church of Bahamut is for him.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
While he's being eyeballed.
roll a sense. I think there is a sense motive.
It's no, it's just insight,
Yeah, roll an insight check.
and I still haven't quite nailed the difference between insight
10.
and perception.
Yeah.
He's not giving him the eye in that way, but he's definitely not telling him
That's what I figured.
what's going on. And he goes, yeah, there's just some good people who really need some help who have posted on that board recently.
Thank you.
And with that, he actually cuts a few slices of bacon, throws them on the grill, like while he's been talking to you guys, and hands it goes, we really appreciate it if you looked into that.
Who's he handing the bacon to?
I was
You,
saying, wait,
because you started talking to him.
Take the bacon. I ask if he has a small leg of rabbit. Pay him for it.
Yeah, that's a copper, and cuts up. He's like, would you like a grill?
Yes.
ooh, make that too.
And could
Do you
you
have-
put the bacon around it and...
Yeah, he does all that. It's 2 copper.
I was about to ask if he had 2 legs of rabbit, and then realized that if he hadn't killed a rabbit, it'd be a little silly to only take 1 leg of rabbit,
Not all 4.
but at least 2
Yeah.
instead of just. Anyway, I also want rabbit.
And while I'm waiting, I
rabbit
eat the
sounds
bacon.
good.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah, he does that, and it's for the rabbit leg, for the bacon wrap rabbit legs. Wow, that is a hard sentence to say. Bacon
no one
wrap
makes
rabbit
it.
legs. It only costs 2 copper. And he does. He points you to the direction of the lawmaster's house, and he's like, which is more towards the middle of it, and then he's like, and the Temple of Bahamut is actually located in Undertown.
Interesting.
Is that usual?
Well, they wanted to use the finest stone. Finest stone's going to come from the dwarves. You don't want to chip it on the way up. Keep it in Undertown.
I mean, sure, less work. I'd go for it.
And he actually he looks. He goes, I mean, like Bahamut isn't like a god of the sun or sky or anything like that, is he?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Bahamut. I'm curious.
No.
He hasn't seemed to be insulted, and his priests are down there seem pretty happy. So
There's no weird like sub races stay below the ground or anything like that.
Oh,
I
no,
just asked
no.
him, like, is there anything like that? Any taboos, town taboos?
Oh no. It's just wherever your trade is more suited is tend to where you live. I mean, all the blacksmiths stay down below. And
Thank you, sir.
With that, I just chugged the gin that I had in my
That you
hand.
never threw at anybody.
Again,
he just kind of looks at you guys and
It's the
goes.
side view of the Dragonborn, and I just peek around the side and look up.
He just
Move
looks
back.
at you guys like getting an early start. I see. Okay.
It's going to be a fun day.
Yes. All days.
We might be back.
Should be fun. Ooh, yeah. You don't have any squirrel, do you?
Ma'am,
Random
Bye.
question. It's fine.
Grab her and start moving along. We'll have to get our own squirrel.
All right, fine.
you look back at Richard. He's just scratching his head. It's like,
Squirrel.
I'm not very big. I don't need a lot of food.
Fair enough.
so yeah. So where are you going? You're heading to the Temple of Bahamut, which is down below, or are you going to head over to?
Let's head to the message board. Yeah.
Yeah, because, he's talking about work, and I'm like, well, while that sounds less than fun, I'm also looking at my coin pouch, which has 3 gold and, like, the remains of a silver and a half. So, it's,
Okay.
Might be a good idea.
Sounds good.
You do, and you go to the missive board, and there's all kinds of things like I lost my cat, and are all posted. But the one that catches your attention because it looks like it was written within the last day or so on just fresh parchment up there. It just says missing children.
Ooh.
And it specifically says for payment details and descriptions of children, see Lawmaster.
So sorry.
is that
My first
funny?
thought was, do you think they just misplaced them or did somebody eat them? And then I laughed. So,
That's bad.
which is why I was trying not to laugh out loud. It didn't really work. I blame the gin. I guess we could go find some missing children because that seems
Sure.
like a good thing to do.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the only thing to do.
Why did I know you were going to say that? You're
So
predictable.
you guys
Kind of annoying.
take the missive, go inside the lawmaster's house, and there are guards who definitely have a head turn as you guys walk in. Like, and but no one stops you, and you're able to walk into the front desk, and there is this little gnome woman sitting behind it, and she says, "Yes, how may I help you?"
You said little gnome, not little known, correct?
Little gnome.
Okay, because I heard the one thing, but
I heard it
figured
too.
out that
Yeah.
you meant the other one. Okay.
That's all right. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good
We
morning.
are looking at the job for looking for the missing children. We're inquiring about it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes. Let me just. And she like pulls out a little box. It starts like flipping through papers, and she pulls out and she adjusts some spectacles onto her. That's what she goes. Yes. There are 4 missing children.
Should write this down.
The parents are offering 25 gold should the children be returned alive and unharmed. They are missing from 3 different households. It also does look like this is believed to be related to a few other children that have also gone missing over the last few months. The first child's name is Eleanor. Her mother works over with textiles. Then there is Shikasta and Rolick. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Lroake. These twin boys, their parents are located over in, let's see, that is the noble people. That's probably how they're able to afford all of this. The twin boys, their parents are elven nobles. So, do you know the... I'm going to stop.
Perhaps not.
Gin.
Is it 25 gold for all 3, or is it 25 apiece?
A piece.
4 children?
Yes.
3 families, 4 children, 25 gold per
child.
family or per child?
Per child.
Per child.
Who's the 4th child?
Magnus Merrick. He is a blacksmith's son. Dwarven. And looks like the children all age range between, let's see, the human girl was 4. The dwarven boy was, or I should be saying is, because of course they're fine. The dwarven boy
In
is
fact, they were not fine.
is 5,
5.
and the 2 elven children are 9, and yes, they're both 9.
I was going to say, if they're twins in different ages, that's real weird.
You
Elves
kind of
have
get this
babies
feel.
weird.
You kind of get this feeling from her that she has not had her morning coffee yet.
She's just looking over cards.
That's fun.
Do you have the name of the parents that we can go talk to?
Oh, yes, just a moment. She starts flipping through cards because like that was not on the same one. The dwarven parents are Notus and Brianna. The elven parents are Arun and Filvendor. And the human parents are Lily and Ash.
Is there anything else we need to know, ma'am?
Like, that's everything written on my card. Ooh, let me see the missive. She takes it and she rolls some wax in a flame and puts a stamp on it. And she goes, here we go. This will let you know that you have been temporarily deputized by the lawmaster, and you will be acting in his interest. So please keep that in mind as you act around and investigate.
Thank you.
Never been deputized
I'll make sure
before.
they do.
Might be fun for a while.
And these kids have been missing for, you said, like 4 days?
Oh, no. This batch of children has only been missing for the last 2. However, there have been other ones that have gone missing, but over the last few months. The note here says that those ones that are missing were all street urchins.
Okay.
And never found?
Yeah.
No, well, you're the first people to look into this at all.
What's that?
You're the first people to look into this at all.
Oh, okay.
He's talking
Wait,
to us.
your actual
man.
law enforcement never looked into this?
All right.
Do you have actual law enforcement here? Isn't that what they do?
Well, this missive literally got posted last night.
Right, but I meant the other ones.
Well, no one came looking for them.
They just went missing.
Okay, yeah. No, I got it.
I believe this happens in human dwellings.
That seems weird, to lose track of your children and not care. But all right, I guess.
The parents may have been dead or abandoned. The children may have been abandoned for a long time.
That's generally what a street urchin means. It's very possible that the street urchin children just left town.
I didn't grow up in a town. I don't know these things.
That is why I'm explaining these things to you.
Fine, let's go.
Man,
Turn around.
aren't you
Don't know why
cold?
she's upset.
No. Jin, walk out the door.
I follow her out. Thank you. Good day.
I'll keep them in line, ma'am. And then I walk out too.
Oh my.
Okay,
Blacksmith or church? Do you need to check in? I guess I would assume a paladin would need to check in with local clergy in case they have something going on or information.
Just so that you know, Seth, it is not required, but is considered rude not to, at least some point in your stay, when you know there's a temple, to visit the temple at some point.
All right, we better go there.
aren't you the one who's all duty and honor and
Yeah.
shit? That's hilarious.
Nice.
All right. So,
We'll head to the church first. Keep him out of trouble.
Yes.
so
Yes,
Secretly, he won't know
that.
we're keeping out of trouble.
So moving to Thundertown, you actually find these. There are these archways that kind of go down into the ground with these really nice tunnels. And as you do move down, it is it is already well lit. Kind of has this hour before dusk look to the whole place down there as you walk down, and it's just already alive. You hear large mechanical machines already moving. You can already hear hammering off in the distance from blacksmiths that are already up and moving around.
If I had to listen to that all day long, every day, and didn't get to hear a tree, I think I would go mad.
Maybe.
We don't have to stay long.
Which is I'm fine with staying for a while. I'm just saying, I couldn't live here. Let's go.
And it does actually, as you go down, because of all the heat from all the forges literally being trapped underground, it does, the temperature does raise like 20 degrees almost instantly.
Wow. Okay.
I'm fine.
Actually, we should all be fine. Dragonborn should be fine.
Yeah. Well, it's like it went from like 70 to 90.
Okay. That's good. Just keep heading down. Head to the church first, just to be safe.
Okay. So the church is actually there on the top tier,
Okay.
because this was a mine, so it has been tiered
Lovely.
down as you go. And you are able to find it. It does actually have very impressive stone carvings of dragons and the dragonborn just repelling back various creatures of darkness, all carved into... You actually can't even see the seams in between where these bricks would have been. It's
Nice.
melded very
So
beautifully together.
I'm immediately like up against the wall, like very like much feeling carvings and admiring stone. I'm like, this might be worth some of the racket. It's very pretty. I'm just touching it.
Yeah, it is it's warm to the touch, just like everything else down here.
Put my ear up against it. I like it.
So you enter, and it does become this grand hall with these rather large braziers lighting the main aisle down, leading up to an altar. And there you do see a few clerics wearing purple and gold hoods, kneeling before an altar over some morning prayers.
Nice.
Do you think the church has open container laws? I lean over to...
You may want to put it in your pouch for now.
Fine.
I put mine in my backpack as well.
So I'm gonna go over and say hi.
Okay.
I don't.
Find something else that's called.
One of the acolytes, the one you walk up to, he stops and turns around. Now he looks at you, and it is a silver dragonborn. He just looks at you and he goes, "Ah, yes, blessings of Bahamut be upon you. What brings you to our city?"
And Bahamut be upon you.
Ah, thank you, brother. And what brings you to our city?
I've come looking for work, and it seems we'll be finding some children.
Oh, excellent. Yes, we actually have a soup kitchen down here, and we had reported this a few months ago about several of the boys and girls we would see regularly, but no one has looked into it before now. This is clearly fortuitous of Bahamut that you are looking now. Thank you.
Yes.
Is there anything you require while you are here? Do you need lodgings?
Yes, and for my 2 companions.
You
like
are
sprawled out on a pew.
You are, of course, welcome to stay here and sleep with the other acolytes and myself. There are various inns. We would be willing to compensate your stay at one of the inns we associate with, but we would not be able to do so for your companions. Here you can all stay for free.
Like free.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. We will stay here.
Excellent. Let me show you to your to where your sleeping quarters are. And he does. He leads you back around, and it looks almost field hospital-y, where there are just small curtain partitions between cots that people just slide. And obviously the cots are dragonborn size, so all of you more than capable. For you, though, Cespedes, they actually bring in an armor stand. So that way when you rest, you can actually hang your armor.
Yes. I mean, thank you very much.
Well, of course, it's the least we can do for one of the soldiers of Bahamut. Please, if there's anything else you require, let us know.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. Yes, I must return to my morning prayers. And he does. He turns around and he goes back and he leaves you back there in the acolyte's sleeping quarters.
Told you guys I'd get us free lodging.
I don't remember when you said that, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
You were drinking gin.
Ah. Yeah. And Steve, seriously, what's wrong with the law enforcement? Like, when you have a church being like, I wonder about this, and then their police, whatever, I don't know, deputy, what do you even call? Anyway, I don't know what. It's fine. It's fine. Let's go find things. I just don't understand.
Pissed.
No, I'm just confused. Which is not actually my natural state of being, although you'd think it might be. Still fascinated by everything, but not so much confused by everything. Just this whole law enforcement concept, which doesn't seem to be enforcing any laws, as long as those laws pertain to children who are unreported by anybody but a church. It's fine.
I guess, do we need to drop anything off in our rooms before we head out, or pick up anything else?
I'm
or?
not carrying much, so I don't need to drop anything off. It's not like I have spare clothes.
I'm talking more to the
Oh, yeah.
weapon
Armored.
burdened.
Well, I'm also weapon burdened, but that's about all I'm burdened with, so. She's got a longsword on one hip, and she's got a short bow and a quiver, but they're all on, like, belts. The quiver's behind the back. She doesn't,
Nice.
no belts or anything across her shoulders or back.
It chased her
It's not
nipples.
like I can drop I can't really drop the bedroll in the backpack, right?
Yeah, you could.
Why not?
Yeah.
If you don't need them, keep in mind, if you put down the backpack, you put down everything that's inside the backpack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. But like the bedroll, how would I drop that from my inventory here?
We'll
We'll
just
just
note
say
it.
it.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll note it
I don't
somehow.
think it's make much difference in your carrying capacity or anything.
No, it doesn't. No, it's only 7 pounds. No, I'm gonna take everything. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wearing a spear on my back that has a wooden cover on it, so it doesn't look like a spear. Mm-hmm. A long flute, that they had in Kill Bill, and a backpack, and that's kind of it. Some darts somewhere on me.
She's got a pouch with
So
a bunch of
Gambit
random
style
things in it.
I'm thinking they're more in like the lapel that comes down the front, so you can just pull them out quickly.
It's a bandolier.
You are not the guy to chest bump.
She also has a pan flute that's stuffed in a pouch somewhere. She occasionally will pull out and play.
And I have
Okay.
some dice on me somewhere too, just in case.
just in case
I
dice
don't
is
know
needed.
why.
Yeah, I've got bone dice too.
And somewhere in my flute is my scroll of pedigree, and my signet ring is all hidden inside, so it would have to be broken to. So I'm going kind of undercover from all that.
Undercover nobility.
Yeah.
Nobility.
So I look noble, but
Undercover novelty.
yeah. There you go. So that's about it. That's all I got.
All right, cool. So, where do you guys want to start?
I guess head down to the forging district.
We're
I say we're
down
already
here.
underground. We might as well talk to the
Go to the
dwarves.
blacksmith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess stop some random person and ask where the forgeries are. The
The
forgeries.
forgeries.
Where the blacksmiths are. Blacksmith
Where
land.
are your forgeries?
Roll a persuasion.
I got
I
this.
speak in Dwarven too.
I don't.
I don't.
22.
Okay.
Whoa, big roll.
Okay.
Apparently you got this. We're good?
Yeah. So you ask what you say like, hey, I'm looking for
Blacksmith Lane or wherever it would be, or if they've heard of him.
Yeah. 'Cause when at first you just ask for a blacksmith, the dwarf you ask doesn't even answer. He just gestures everywhere, and then kind of keying into what he means by that, he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for this one." He's like, "Oh, okay. What you do is you go down over here. Okay, you're gonna go down 3 rights, take a left, and you should run straight into it within 100 feet or so."
Thank you very much.
You got
Turn
all
back to
that,
them and
right?
tell them, yeah. As he's saying it, I'm mumbling it in common to them.
Yeah. But yeah, he just gives you very precise directions of where you need to go, and you were able to find
Nice.
the exact blacksmith shop.
Sweet.
I'm used to directions having more random trees and descriptions of moss. That's very strange. The environments I'm used to walking around in don't really have streets. It's fine.
This makes it a little more efficient. I would say.
I'm noticing that. It's weird.
But your travel does take you down actually to the 3rd tier
Nice.
of this 5-tiered thing. So he's kind of like
Warmer?
there in the middle. Not necessarily warmer. It's like the same uniform heat the whole way through in here.
Okay.
Geothermal
It's a
heating.
dry heat.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes from very moist up top to very dry down below.
Her hair and mine probably goes boing. Tie it all back up.
Like steam is just coming off his scales.
Go up and knock on the door if there's a door.
Yeah, there is.
That's the thing. You don't really need roofs when you're building
That is true.
underground.
Do you just need stalls like Cube World?
Right? I'm not sure.
I guess it would keep thieves out if you cover the top.
Well, yeah.
Well, what you notice with this is it's like you have the forge, which is outside, but then built back into the wall is the actual residence.
Is there like a storefront, like a stall in front?
No, this is just a, and you most of what you see hanging as you walk up before are all mining tools.
Oh, I see.
So so this guy clearly makes and repairs the tools that the mine then uses. There actually is a half finished mine cart out in front.
Nice.
As you knock on the
I'm
door,
examining the mine cart. It's
as you knock on the door, yeah, just a minute. Yeah, we're gonna go with this voice. And a very, even by dwarven standards, rotund dwarven woman answers. She literally looks like a ball with feet. Like, think Kirby here.
I bow deeply to her.
And she goes, "Oh, I would, but the new brood won't let me." Thank you.
Are you by chance Brianna?
Yes. Oh,
We're here to.
you here to find my wee
hopefully
one? And
find the
she
children.
we
does
were
start
deputized.
to
Oh.
weep. Just like,
No.
They don't have empathy anymore.
well, they have
Insight.
insight, which is like to gauge someone's what someone means, and then there's which would be like a sense motive. But then there's also like if you want to like console her, there would just be a persuasion.
I'll do that. I'll hug her. That would be 15.
Okay. And
I just look a little awkward.
she melts into you, and she goes, "Please, me, what have you found? What?
We are just starting our investigation.
Oh, please come in, please. Oh,
We will do our best to find your child.
dear." And she like turns around and runs in, and
you do see a kind of lean, very top muscular dwarf male rise from a table. All of you have to duck. This is a dwarf house.
Okay.
Well, maybe not you.
I'm an inch over 5 feet tall. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
Only 6'6".
yeah, you're in half. Dwarves are 4 something.
yeah.
Sorry. My perception should have been higher because I had keen senses. Just realized that. Okay.
Okay.
I bow deeply to him, hands folded.
Yeah, he offers you a seat at his table, and he's like, "Dear, go put on some tea."
We are taking up the missive to find your children, find the missing children, and we are starting at your dwelling
Okay.
to find any clues or any direction.
What did I say? The dwarf's baby, Magnus?
His
Magnus,
name
yeah.
is Norris.
No, I was talking about the kid.
Oh yes, Magnus.
I have the parents' names written down. I used fantasy name generator for the kids real quick.
Magnus Merrick.
Yep. So he's like, yes, my little boy Magnus. He was topside playing, and he just didn't come back down, and
Does he normally have any friends that you know of up topside?
yes, but sadly they're the other missing kids.
That's why I thought. Do you know where they normally played at?
Yeah, there's this section over by the market. It's called, the kids called the Crossroads. Because what it is, it's 4 alleys that all come together. It's easily spied upon by people from the market, from the residents. They're all able to sit there, and their kids just go out and play. And they have and this is where the Oscar's not missing. The man kind of like does a grunt. So, he does have one other friend, Oscar. He's an orc. His dad runs a bar down here.
He's a narc, is that what you said?
Orc.
Orc. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Doesn't even have the decency to be half.
And his dad runs a bar, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And that's our next stop.
Wouldn't happen to be the hag's nest, would it?
No, that's over by the. Did you find something? Was
No.
he just there's complete confusion?
No.
No, it's irrelevant. It's fine. Ignore him.
Okay. No, the bar he runs is down here in the mine,
Oh, do you know the name of it?
literally called the Miner's Shaft.
I just cock one eyebrow.
Yeah, I know.
No, I laugh, but
Yep.
that's fine. I'm
You
also,
see why I don't want my boy hanging around with that trash?
I'm also hanging.
No,
out-
dear, that's not a very kind thing to say. I'm sure Oscar's he's such a sweet boy. I'm sure he's very upset over all of this.
Did your children all go to school together, or were they
We can't afford school.
anything like that?
Maybe those elves can, but no. My boy was too young for that. Anyways, he'd be working down here with me when he became of age.
Do you know the parents of Shikasta and Lorak, the noble elves?
No, we've never met them.
Is it,
Ellen and with Lily and Ash, they're a sweet family. We go up and visit them every now and then. They come down here.
are there any known rivals or enemies that you have that may have just grabbed all of the children at once?
Rivals and enemies, plenty in business, but I would hate to think that anyone down here would do that. I mean, I think that'd be even far for the orc, but I wouldn't rule it out. His nature and all.
You two, anything else you want to ask?
No, I'm kind of leaning against the wall, just looking very uncomfortable with the whole situation. Families apparently make me uncomfortable. I didn't realize
You're, like,
that.
up against the
yeah,
wall.
like just sort of like I.
The Kirby comes
Trying
up to you.
not
It's
to
like,
hit my head.
dear, would you like some tea? She hands you, a little wooden mug and proceeds to walk around pouring everyone some.
Tea. Do any of the other parents have any known enemies or rivals or anything like that you know of? Have you heard anything?
Well, Ash isn't Ellen's biological father. I don't know if but her biological father should be dead, is what we all heard. And like I said, I never met the elves. They got money. Someone might be trying to get money out of it, but why take everybody else's kids?
That's true. And the other children have gone missing prior as well, correct? From what we understand.
Well, what we understand is all 4 kids
What are you
went.
laughing for?
All 4 kids went at once.
Okay. I'm just wondering if there was some sort of trap sprung where they all were lured into a cart or a cage or a stagecoach or something, and then
You see Bree
visibly starts shaking when you start describing this, and tears again begin to well up. He's like, "He's got to think about every option, woman. Sit down. You shouldn't be on your feet anyways."
Okay. I can't think of anything else.
No, I think we're good.
Finish my tea. Stand up and bow again to them. We shall do our best to find the children, all of them, and return them safe.
And they stand up and they see you out. And Bree does, like, as you're about to leave, she pulls you in for one more big hug. Very strong. It's that whole mama dwarf bear.
And when that happens, I'm trying to edge farther away to escape her notice, because that just doesn't look like something I want to be a part of.
And before I go, I say to them, if there's anything else you have to contribute to our investigation, we are staying at the Church of Baelor, and you can leave them.
Different thing.
Baelor?
Bahamut.
Sorry.
Baelor
Bahamut.
being a devil, but no, demon, whatever. It's a very
Bahamut.
Different thing.
Church of Bahamut.
Yeah.
You can leave a message there.
We will.
And that's it. We'll head out.
Yeah, please.
Oh, we didn't ask where the humans stayed, did we?
No, they originally told us her mom worked in textiles,
Okay.
so I'm assuming there's a market somewhere.
We should go knock on the door, though. They know where they are.
We should probably talk to the orc
been
while
to
we're
their
down
house.
here. The textile, the humans live
Yeah.
upstairs.
I just meant get
Right.
their address.
Since they
Get
have
their
it.
address.
Yes, as far as
Yeah,
you
they
know,
do
the
have-
humans would live upstairs.
Okay.
Or considering the dwarves did say, we go up to see them, they come down to see us.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we should go ask their address just real quick.
Okay, you can do
Okay.
that.
I'll go back.
All right.
I'll go peck on the door.
yeah.
Go back to examining the interesting minecart.
The husband opens the door and
Sorry to bother you. May we get the either directions or address for Lily and Ash?
oh yeah, Ash is probably at his stall already. He sells meat in the marketplace. It's a freestanding stall. And then Lily, poor dear's probably still at home.
I think we've met Ash. We'll go back.
Oh,
It's entirely possible.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
all right. But he did give you the address for Lily's home.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll head back upstairs.
Or do we want to go talk to the orc tavern while we're here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We need exercise.
A, it's a
I
tavern,
need exercise.
and we're already down here.
That's fine. Do we have to get the address for that too? Let's just wander down
I've-
there.
He has moved to his forge and has started.
I pick a different random dwarf. You, where's the mine shaft? Miner's shaft? Whatever
Mine
it was
shaft.
called?
The miner's shaft.
The bar. The one with the drinking.
Why would you want to go there?
We need to talk to somebody who goes there. It's fine.
All right. That's going to be down on level 5.
Okay?
And he does. He gives you some more directions on where to find it. He actually does. He's like, okay, so you're going to go down. If you go from here, you go over to that ladder, you take it down. It'll shoot to the lift. It'll just take you all the way down to 5. Then over there, you're going to want to cross.
All right. Okay. I think I got. Thank you. And I'm still like in my head figuring out directions as I turn around and try to start following them.
And he gives you a couple street names. I want you, just because of your waywardness, to roll me a survival check and see if you actually find it.
Okay.
Survival, you said?
I got a 23.
Oh yeah, you found it.
That's nice.
This is not the environment I'm used to, but I'm good with directions.
Okay, yeah, so you're able to find it. It is, let's see, you did, that's probably about 20 minutes getting ready for an hour.
Also, actually,
So it's like lunchtime now, because if you think about like all the time it took you to
Yeah.
go to the church, talk to the people there, settle in.
get over here, start
Nice.
moving, yeah. So, and by lunch, I mean like 11:30, it'd be an early lunch. So yeah, the tavern is open. You were able to walk in. There's a few people eating there, both human and dwarf. There is a very large sign on the door that says, "No blades will respond in kind."
Is there like a check area for weapons, or
Right there at the door? No.
I can go in and talk to them?
I'll wait out here. Give me your blades.
Okay.
I
I hand over the sword. That's the only. I mean, the arrows are not technically blades, so
I hand him my spear just to be safe.
and the bow's unstrung anyway. So
Okay. pop in.
Okay. When you pop in, you notice like this actually is a very large and is a multi-tiered, like this looks like a higher end inn almost, with a giant fighting pit right in the middle of it. That can easily be seen from
Every level.
the upper level and lower level.
Nice.
And there is a full-blooded orc behind the bar already moving stuff around. And right as you walk inside, you do actually hear a hiss come from behind your head. Turn around and see a very burly lizard folkman sitting right inside the door, bouncer style.
Okay.
Turn around, nod, head to the bar.
He flicks his tongue at you. You're not sure if interested or disinterested because lizard face.
Yeah. Nah,
Go to the bar with
I
her.
don't care enough to find out either. So.
You sit down. You do see actually behind the bar there is a big chalkboard that shows what you can only assume to be fighters and their current standings and rankings, matches coming up for that evening, as well as that day's special. And that day's special is, in fact, a half of a roasted chicken.
Ooh, chicken. It's been a long time since I've had chicken. They don't grow in the... Anyway, the squirrel was homey. The chicken sounds exotic.
Get some food.
Yes. Order the special. And a beer.
What kind of beer? We have several. We got a brown, we got a blonde, we got a blood thistle.
What's a blood thistle?
Well, it's this kind of rather more bittering beer. It's got a nice red hue to it.
I don't know what that means, but I want that.
All right. One blood thistle. You, sir?
Do you have wine?
I do, in fact, have wine.
Some nice wine then, please.
Okay. We do, in
Dealer's
fact.
choice.
Dealer's choice. All right. Dealer's choice is going to be expensive, but worth it. All right. And you see him, and he flips around, calls back, 2 specials to the kitchen. He walks up with the wine.
Before he uncorks it, how much?
He goes, "Oh, this is going to be 2 gold."
Oh, that's fine. Just making sure.
You got to remember, like 2 gold is what.
Right.
It's
Right.
more than what most people make in a week.
Right.
2 gold is more than half
Oh,
of what I have on
no,
my person.
No, I'm sorry. Something a little less. I keep
Oh,
forgetting
right.
I have silver and not gold.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. So he all right.
Something around 5 silver.
Around 5 silver wine. Okay. I got a strawberry and elderberry.
Elderberry's fine.
All right. Turns around and gets an elderberry. And he does. He sets the bottle down and an actual like wine glass.
Nice.
For you, he does. He goes and he comes back with this very large, nice looking tankard of and it does just has this like nice like kind of hoppy, bitter smell, but also there's like a little. And as you first taste it, there is a sweet kick to it. The first that then kind of mellows out. It's really nice. You're getting the sense that like from all the trash that the dwarf was talking, this is a really nice establishment.
Also, compared
that's
to
why I was
the
a
one
little
other
shocked.
bar we've been to in this town,
Right.
this is amazing.
Right. That's why I was a little shocked with the 2 gold.
And then he comes back over to you and he uncorks the wine. And he actually does. He pours into a decanter. He has it breathe for a minute and then he pours into the glass. And he slides the glass on up to you, going through the whole wine ritual of it.
Nice.
And he goes, and he's like, taste it and let me know.
There's no...
Yeah, there's let's just do a general int check.
Perception?
Just do an intelligence check. This is kind of like a what do you know about wine?
10.
10. It does taste pretty. It tastes pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So he nods, and then shortly after, he goes through the whole ritual and everything. Sure enough, there's 2 chickens. He turns around, grabs them, brings back. There is some like mixed root vegetables, half of a chicken that's been roasted, and a hunk of bread.
Okay. I ask if we can order a whole roasted chicken by itself to go as we start to eat.
Sure.
Okay. And by chance, are you...
Oscar. No, Oscar
you-
was the kid.
are you
Did he
Oscar's
give us
father?
The name? Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Like, yeah, Oscar's my kid. Name's Grubnub. What are you looking for my boy for?
We are investigating the other missing friends of his, and we didn't know if he had any information to add so that we might find them.
He's locked himself in his room for the past few days. Hasn't really wanted to come out.
Has he said anything to you about the incident?
No, but now I think I've got a clue about why he's locked himself in there. I may need to go have a more serious talk with my son. Thought he was maybe throwing a tantrum, as children are prone to do.
It seems like...
He is this very disturbed
face on him. And even when you first asked about his son, his demeanor changed from friendly bartender to a much harder look.
It seems his the twin elves and the human girl were all taken a few days ago, 2 days ago, up top.
And the dwarf boy, who said that he was
Oh, yeah, and the
friends
dwarf-
with
All of them.
all of them. Yeah,
They were
were
all
all
friends.
friends.
Together, yeah.
Yeah, I knew who the kids you're talking about. The
And they were all
dwarf boy and the human girl are just babes.
yeah.
Yep. So we didn't know that. We heard they went missing at the crossroads, but we don't have much else besides the fact they played together. We have no description of what happened or anything.
No, and since we learned that Oscar was still here, we didn't know if he had anything that might help us find the rest of them, where his friends are, or what happened to them.
Let me talk to my boy.
Sit and eat.
He kind of like waves his hand over at the lizard folk, who then comes back and stands behind the bar, just in silence, staring at you guys.
I don't have much intimidation.
I look contemplative for a while, and then I enjoy my food. And this
As I eat, I'll talk to her every once in a while, but
Yeah.
look him up and down intensely, like what weapons he has, what kind of armor, all that stuff. Casually,
He's
size him up.
wearing like a leather kilt, and that's it.
Okay. Big strength.
cheers to the not wearing shirts.
He doesn't list anything.
I didn't figure, but I still like go through the motions and then drink to
Before
it.
she puts it out, I think. Drink.
It's like his arms aren't crossed. He's not like mean mugging you or anything. He's just like
He's just
occasionally just
staring
flicking
at
his
you
thumb.
like a stuffed gator.
yeah. So after about an hour,
At some point, do we get a chicken that we can run out to?
yeah,
I figure we just take it out when we leave.
That's fair too. I mean, it depends
He'll
on how
eat on the
fresh
go.
and he didn't really need the.
I
other
did
food
just
folks.
eat a whole. I
Yeah,
did
that's
eat a
fine.
whole
All right,
deer
cool.
leg.
It was a
Remember?
while ago.
so after about an hour or so, Grubnub comes back and he goes, so my boy gave me a description. He said that there were some men up there.
Human?
that- both human men. They had been just kind of hanging around with the kids, talking with them every so often, which isn't too uncommon. I mean, adults talk to the kids up there, make sure no one's getting in trouble, village child and all that. He said one of the young men, like I said, he was younger, had a head full of spiky black hair, wore a red tunic, and had a big spider on the back of it. The other older gentleman, going bald, had kind of but still had some gray hair, had a beard, and had a scar going down one of his neck.
One side of his neck.
Yeah. There was the spider shirt guy, though. I think I saw him in here last night talking to one of my fighters. We've got a bout of fights coming up tonight. If you want him before I get him, be here tonight.
Okay.
We can do that.
Which fighter was he talking to or associated with?
Thordak.
And do you remember seeing him in here before?
Nope. I thought his shirt was odd. So I don't know if my boy was just scared because his friends were gone and was just making people up, and that interesting shirt just happened to be here last night. But I'm going to find out.
Best to err on the side of caution. We don't want to spook him if he is responsible or knows who's responsible, or if he's just not involved at all.
Like I said, I'm going to find out. And if you want to find out too, fights start 2 hours after sundown.
We'll be back. Can I have another one of these?
Sure.
I go ahead and pay for my food and everything. Or
Yeah.
actually, pay for food.
I did. Yeah,
so
I'll pay for everything.
your whole meal plus the chicken is
It's $5 for the wine,
$5 for the wine.
plus whatever the.
So that's going to be
Three
a
meals.
gold. So, well, no, because it's like it's essentially 4 meals because you got a whole chicken for him. So you're both of you together. You're looking at 2 gold and 5 silver.
Okay, what's my half of that?
It's not even like entirely half. Like
Right.
You're, okay, so you are looking at a gold. He's looking at a gold, and then it's 5 silver for the chicken,
Okay.
for the whole chicken,
Okay.
because you got 2 drinks and
Right. I'll throw down a gold and an extra silver
Okay. Takes me down to 3 silver.
because I really like this guy's beer and his bar and his chicken, and I'm definitely coming back here whether or not we need to find more information.
Okay.
Just saying.
Head outside.
With the chicken.
The chicken in a bag.
yep.
Trade a chicken for my sword.
There you go. We got you some more food. I do not know if you're hungry.
Oh, how much do I owe you?
A gold.
Bullshit.
You roll an insight check.
I paid a gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have to roll anything else?
You would have to roll a deception against his insight.
Oh, ain't much. 13.
15.
Yeah, he's full of shit. He did not pay that much.
10 silver then.
Which is a gold.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
just going to hang on to
Yeah.
this spear.
Electrum doesn't
I'm going to hang
count.
on to your spear.
Oh, then okay.
Yeah, electrums are weird. It's like
Yeah, more than
pennies,
that.
dimes, half dollars,
Okay.
and dollars. The electrum is the odd one out.
It was 5 silver then.
Okay.
That would be true.
All right, I give you 5 silver.
All right. Head up top and talk to the humans, just to be safe.
Yeah,
Or
I
check
mean,
out
we
the
might as
crossroads
well.
while we're up there.
Yeah, we could do both because they're in and around the marketplace anyway. So, or at least Ash should
Talk
be.
to Ash. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
There is.
I forgot that he was standing out here for more than an hour while we were
Sorry.
just in.
There were 2 men that were hanging around the crossroads. A young man with a spider emblem on his shirt, and an older, bald, bearded man with a scar down his neck. And the young man is going to be back here tonight, 2 hours before sundown, because he's associated with a fighter named Thordak.
Okay.
Yeah, and it sounds like the orcs.
You seem drunk.
Sounds like the orcs kid's real fucked up about what happened. So
Yeah.
he definitely either saw something, suspects something, or is
Yeah. He didn't say anything about the actual abduction.
no. But these 2 guys were suspicious. So let's go find him.
Okay. And it turns out that Ash may have been our meat vendor we ran into,
It's possible.
more than likely.
Good deer meat.
And bacon.
And rabbit,
Start walking back up.
Nibble on my rabbit as I walk.
chicken. This time you have a
Chicken.
chicken.
Chicken. Oh, chicken. I have chicken.
Roasted chicken.
Nibble on my chicken.
Yeah, enjoy that chicken. It's like a rare
Next
treat.
time, get it raw, guys. I don't like it cooked.
What?
But thank you for the effort.
I
Don't
guess
you dragons roast your food before you eat it?
It's well, he would electrify it. So maybe that's a different flavor. So ozone instead of charcoal.
Possibly.
It's umami.
This is our
This is
discussion on the way
literally
up.
the conversation. we're having.
I'm just enjoying. It's like this. I know nothing. Elf, wanderer, sorceress. Like, yeah, ozone.
Like I know what that is too.
Light. It's that smell that happens after lightning. It's perfectly natural.
Tastes gross though.
But don't you breathe
It's just not my thing.
lightning?
It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing.
So do you gargle afterwards? Like I imagine that would leave an aftertaste in that case.
I try not to lightning.
That seems weird, but all right.
It happens.
Just this real indignant look on his face. Like, you don't know me. All right. So, did you want to head to the
Ash's.
Ash the Butcher?
Yeah.
Okay. He has a, let's see, so this would actually be like the lunch hour rush at this point because you guys were the early lunches.
Right.
And his stall is swamped. Like, there are plenty of people going around, like, I need a roasted ham. I brought this over from the fish market. Can you roast it for me? And
Okay. Ask somebody nearby where the crossroads is if we have not passed by or anything like that.
I grab a random person.
okay.
Hey, have you ever heard of this thing called the Crossroads? It's like alleys in the back way and the
Roll of persuasion.
22.
That's pretty good.
Okay. They're like, again, it's so much. There are children there.
And I literally
some decency.
No, like I'm confused, but moving past it like it's polite.
Anyways, yeah, it's that alley right there starts the left half of the crossroads.
Thank you.
Just head down to the crossroads while this is all too busy.
you see her make some religious sign as she walks away.
Nice. Start heading down.
Thoughts and prayers.
And literally my reaction is, this is normal for me, so you're being weird. I'm not sure why, so I'm just going to ignore it and pretend everything's fine. I don't understand.
All right. So you get over to the crossroads, and this first one you get up to, you actually do see it's mostly small children. As you make your way through it over to the center, you do kind of see like it almost branches out age-wise. So you had real young children in that first one. Kind of going further back, straight across from it, you have some preteens, and then left and right, you kind of have that middle-aged group.
That awkward middle-aged group who can't hang out with the big kids because they're not big enough, but also don't want to hang out with the little kids because they're too big for that.
Right, but they're also
The
like,
spazzes.
Yeah.
but at the same point in time, they they outnumber both groups somehow because there's more of them.
Right.
They scare the little kids, and the older kids are like, spazzes. Stay over there. Jumping up and down. Nice. All right. Try to look for the old guy with the scar, the guy with the spider shirt, if they're around.
I say, are there any older people,
Yeah.
like adults, around?
Okay, roll a perception.
21.
Yeah, I don't even want to say.
Found a wall.
on the wall.
God, those spazzes. Look at them spazz out.
There are actually some adults. Some looks like either dropping off kids or picking kids up, like almost like a daycare. There are also several.
I rolled a one. It's,
Yeah, there are several. Parents actually like sitting up, like in where their apartment would be, looking down over the kids as they play. So there are a lot of eyes here, and yes, there are adults, but it is mostly children. You are looking at about 50 kids.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And none of the two that we're kind of looking for or keeping an eye out for?
No one looks that sketchy. Like, you do see a guy with some scars on him, but he's got way more than just one, and he's not that old.
Okay.
Scars that are a scar not notable because of all the rest of them. I like it.
Right.
Well, do we want to talk to the little kids or like the bigger kids who might actually have some concept of reality, which is weird for me to say?
Or the spazzes.
Where's the orc's son?
He's
He's
in his bedroom crying
Yeah.
or something.
He's locked himself away.
He's not here right now.
I think we might get more bad attention if we were to talk to the young children.
Okay.
I would think.
I don't know much about children, so
Especially if this just happened a few days ago. There might be very alert parents.
you're probably right. People care about these things.
And maybe the middle kids wouldn't think too much of it, or the older kids may not want to be cooperative.
Okay.
Just
Whatever you
guessing.
think.
Go over to the spazzes. It's middle school.
Yeah.
Not even that old.
Oh, okay.
Because you got to remember, by the time you hit middle school, you're 13.
No, middle school is like 11.
Sixth
Grade is 11 years
11
old.
to like 14.
Because you're 14 or 15 when you start high school.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
The true spazzes.
Yes.
The-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
puberty
Okay.
hasn't
that
kicked
pure
yet.
tween awfulness.
Yeah. So here's the
They
thing.
all look androgynous.
The-
They're all weird. And
The
they're all
older kids,
awkward.
The older kids then would
Growing.
be that would be that 12 to 11.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
11 to 13 range. The spazzes are like the 10 to 7-year-olds.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's fine. It's still
So you're gonna talk this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like you start walking to them, and one of them actually runs up and starts tugging on your shirt. Going, "You're not wearing a shirt. It's too cold to not wear a shirt. My mama says you've got to wear a shirt, otherwise you can't go outside because it's too cold. Why doesn't your mama do that? My mama says she does that to me because she loves me. Where's your mama loving you? It's not right. You." And this just continues to go on, and more kids just come up.
I step.
well,
back
and I'm
slowly.
sitting there going,
5-foot step.
I don't want to, and I don't have to, and it's none of your mom's
What's
business.
this? And they start pulling out air.
God, no. Okay. Somebody help. I'm looking over at him.
A kid picks up your tail, just looking at it like, "How did you get this? I want one."
It's kind of cool. I'm just saying, if I had a tail, it'd be neat.
One's poking your flute. What this do? What this do? I put my finger in the hole.
Take out the flute and begin to play slowly.
Roll up.
Just before I yell, scream, stop!
Roll me a performance for your flute. And you scream stop as it's picking up your tail.
7.
Okay.
I stop. because it was yelling.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
you start to blow.
Did that look like it was going to be working?
You don't know because he picked it up and went, stop.
I'm going to pull out my flute and do the same thing because these children are annoying.
I just say something to her like a
Roll me
A lullaby.
a percentile die.
55.
Okay. Roll me a perception.
14.
Okay. You go for your flute and it's not there. Actually, one of the kids is already holding it and is starting to go, hey, I was playing with that. It's not nice. You're supposed to share your toys. Mom always says you're supposed to share your toys. If you don't share your toys...
I walk away and check all of my pockets for all of my things.
That was the most interesting... You're missing like 2 arrows.
Whatever. The arrows are fine. The pipes are important. There's also a tarot card that I have to make sure I find.
Yeah, you find that because you didn't list that to me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Also, I don't think a kid would have found that interesting.
Right. No, I don't think so either. It's got a picture of me on it. It's very old.
Okay.
I tap the paladin with my flute real just gently, tap tap tap, and then go back and start to play. And I'm going to play an old ballad that all elves, I guess, would know, Ballad of the Elf King's Daughter or something, and start playing that
Okay.
slowly.
In that case,
God, the same roll. No, it's the same roll. 7.
Okay.
well, in that case, with
slowly.
It's not a hard piece or anything like that, but the kids are not interested because you're playing like this classic Elven Hall theme, and they're like, my daddy likes to play the spoons.
I
and
take his melody and start to try to like improvise a little bit and play with it. It's a tune that I know, but then I just try to.
Better roll than me. Better roll than me.
No. Who spit in my children? I don't.
You need a nap.
Yes.
He's mean, and they point up at the Dragonborn who yelled at them for playing with his tail.
Okay, I don't
My tail.
know what.
And I put my flute on my knees as I sit down, and I say, "Can anyone tell me if they've seen a strange man with a spider on his shirt over the last day or so, or today even?"
Roll a persuasion check.
That is 17.
17. One of the kids goes, I saw a man with a pitter on his shirt, and he was here.
Today?
Like, he just, like, blank stares. Like he, all of a sudden, now that you've, like, addressed him directly, he starts getting, like, real red in the face and just kind of looking down and drawing, circles with his foot in the ground. And he's like, no, not today.
Does he show up every day?
He was. I don't know about every day. I'm not here every day. I'm not allowed outside all the time because every now and then I have too much energy, Mom says, and that's the only times I'm allowed out of the house is when I have too much energy. And she says I need to go work it off, and when I do that,
That sounds real. See, he was making perfect sense right now. I understand. I understand. But hey, you've seen the man with the piter on his shirt more than once?
roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion is 16.
Yes, I've seen him before.
Did he?
So as Marcus saw him, he talked to Marcus.
So he does talk to the other kids.
And he points down
Yeah.
the older kid route.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys for helping us out.
Yes. Thank you.
There's just a bunch of giggles and waves.
And I bow really deeply to them to make them laugh some more.
I wave to the one kid.
I make some lightning crackle in my mouth.
See, doesn't that taste like ozone? I don't understand.
When you
right now.
smile to the one kid, like he turns and runs. When you do the lightning trick, everyone's like, again.
And now that they're distracted with him,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk
Walk
away.
5-foot step.
Disengage.
Put my flute back and walk over to the older kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Again, double checking all of my pockets for like the fourth. I've only got one pocket, but double checking all of my things for like the fourth time.
I walk up and I greetings and I bow deeply to all of them.
And as you say this, you actually notice that they're all standing around either watching or participating in a game of stickball, like rudimentary baseball. Like someone's got a stick, someone throws it, they hit, and they run around bases. It's a lot more organized play than the chaos you just came from.
Okay.
I'm just staring, kind of fascinated. Like, I've never seen this before. It's neat.
Chomping on some grass I found to get rid of the ozone in my mouth.
Dude, you are in a city. If you found anything grass-like,
It's a weed.
I would say
no, it is less tasty. It fell off a cart. Someone's walked on it.
if he called it grass, it wasn't that. You're supposed to smoke it, not chew on it. Yeah, I'm just kind of fascinated by the game right now.
And so when you start to say greetings, like, you know, it's that teenage.
I'm like,
What they say? Marcus was the name of the kid.
yeah, Marcus. Somebody here named Marcus.
And at first, like, this kid like turns over. Who wants to know?
Whoop! There it is.
It starts like edging the guy next to him.
I'm just standing there, like, hands on hips. This looks like a cool game. Marcus, right? That's your name?
Sure. As he says, like, obviously staring.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm going.
And
with it.
like every like boy starts to turn around, and
It's cool.
this is when you like some of the girls start to turn around, and you're like, "What are you doing? Oh my god, is that even allowed?" Like,
I'm ignoring half of this conversation and half of the staring, and I'm just like, so, Marcus, we were told that you might have talked to a guy we're looking to find or know more about. He had a big spider on the back of his shirt, red shirt.
he's enamored.
Persuasion to get him to answer the question.
Yeah. You could do persuasion. If you're annoyed, you could do intimidation.
Not annoyed yet.
Okay.
Might be annoyed soon because that's all of 11.
Yeah.
Which may not be persuasive enough to get over his staring.
So when you're just like, hey, and you kind of like lean forward, which causes
Right,
a little
hands
gap.
on the hips and
Yeah, so like you kind of like thrust out, which makes him like turn real red, eyes get real wide, and you hear one or two other kids yell, "My name's Marcus. I'm Marcus. I spoke to a guy."
fingers in, like snapping in his face, like, seriously, Marcus, answer the question.
This is definitely an intimidation. Now go for that.
You're right. Yeah, this is not going well at all. That's worse. It's fine. That's a 10. It's throw my hands up in the air. You deal with this.
You stand there yelling at me.
Yes.
Are any of the kids looking at me?
Not real.
Any of the girls
Definitely not
or
really in the
anything?
boys. Some of the girls probably looking a little bit at you. Actually, with this one, as she points at you, saying you deal with this. One of the girls who's, you need to teach your girlfriend some decency.
We will take her away, but we have to find Marcus first. Do you know who Marcus is?
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
That is a 17.
Yes, Marcus is that kid. You see him like he's getting ready for his at bat. Like, just put a shawl on her, something. This is gross.
God, I've just turned
And
around.
like all the other girls are starting to like cross their arms.
Well,
It's like,
what's funny
They
is that
showed me
I've
about
sort
the
of
same.
turned around and folded my arms, but like they're like I'm not trying to cover up, so they're just annoyed, well below anything that would be otherwise covered.
yeah,
You've actually pushed them up now.
yeah,
Yeah.
And like all the other girls just like. There's a few kids who are still oblivious to all this because they're just too enamored with the game.
I'll wait till Marcus does his turn and then go talk to him when he's off the field or out of play.
Okay. You actually see, so Marcus, so the one kid goes up, he does his thing. Marcus is the next at bat. Marcus actually makes a pretty good connect. He's able to make it to base. And he actually does like do a slow little advance. It looks like he's going to get home, but then kid behind him gets a third out. And so now teams switch places.
And it's one of those things where like my annoyance fades a little bit as I realize the game is still going on, and I'm turned around and I'm still fast. I don't understand what's happening.
You feel
but it's
eyes on you.
amazing, and I'm ignoring all of it. Like I'm like, the game is really cool.
This is prepubescent boy eyes. They know they're into girls, but they don't know why.
Well, they're
Well, it's Corridon
And
is
they're
gonna-
irrelevant
I
to
assume
me,
they're
so it's
figuring
like
it out slowly.
As Corridon, I assume, is going to go talk to Marcus. I'm going to walk with him and pull out a few coppers in my hand and start jingling them around,
Okay.
just in case.
As you do this, some of the kids do seem to take notice and just kind of look over at you. Eventually, the game progresses to the point where Marcus is now off the field and waiting.
Okay. Walk over to him.
Okay.
I follow. Since they're going that way, I'll go that way. It's
Walk up to him.
There are holes being burned into you with either between staring that hard or daggers. You feel all of it.
And a lot of kids sitting on the ground.
A lot of kids all of a sudden have books that they need to stop reading.
Yeah.
and I really just don't right over my head. It's fine.
Go up. Marcus, may we speak with you?
What up, knife ears?
We understand that you spoke to a gentleman with a spider on his shirt a while back, and we are looking for him. And I slowly point to the jingling of the coppers in Cespedes' hands.
You see him just start to lick the inside of his mouth. And he's like, maybe I saw someone.
Any information would be helpful. The more information, the more lucrative it is for you.
How lucrative.
Depends on the information.
He's trying to see how many coins that are jingling in the hand. How many do you have currently in your hand you're jingling?
8.
8. Okay.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, that is that is a fistful. He's like,
He's got big fists.
like 3 or so days ago, a guy, funny looking shirt came in, just asking around. He wanted to know what. He just wanted to know what was going on in this area. And I just told him, this is where kids come to play. And you see him to start rotating his fingers around.
Out of character question. The kids that we're looking for were taken the day before yesterday, 2 days ago. So that was,
About 2. So the missive got posted.
Missive was supposed to be
Yesterday. So the kids would have been taken 2, maybe 3 days ago.
Okay, that's it. Just want to make clear.
Yeah. So it lines up from when the kids were taken. Is basically what it comes down to.
All right.
I reach back to Cespedes' hand and take out 1 copper and give it to him.
Better just be 1.
And you see it just disappear into his hand, and so he starts rotating. It's like,
And then...
and
Dude, where's my card?
I know, I love it.
Yeah. Sorry.
he
I
was
haven't watched it in a while either, so...
he was interested in kids' parents and what they all did, and
Specific kids?
just in general.
What did you tell him?
As he pointed at kids, I answered, and he was a generous donor. I can be generous too if the donation is right.
I look back at Cespedes.
How many you taking?
I reach back and grab 1 more, drop it in his hand. Has he done this before? Have you answered questions for him before?
This isn't really weighing on my memory enough for me to know.
I hand you another.
I like how he's not actually handing it to the kid. He's handing it
To me.
to the elf to hand to the kid.
I start to give it to him and I say, "You're trying our patience. Lives depend on this."
Maybe one that matters.
I look back at Cespedes. He hasn't eaten very much today. I look back at the kid. You look about the size of a
Brunch.
Yeah.
Roll an intimidation.
16.
Okay. He kind of closely goes, "Hey, look,
If kids have been harmed because of the information you've given this gentleman, I'm sure the proper authorities would like to meet you.
I
I'll
didn't
make
tell
sure
him
they
anything
find
that
you.
he couldn't have already figured out on his own."
So what else did he ask? And has he been here before asking about other kids?
No, like I said, a few days ago was the first time I saw him. I told him, this kid, his parents, do this, that kid, his parents do that.
Did you leave right away?
Wouldn't call it in a hurry, but yeah, after his questions were done, he just moved on.
You see him again that day?
No,
Did he have a friend with him? Bald, beard, and a scar on his neck.
I didn't see him talk to anyone else, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay.
I left shortly after that myself.
Have you seen him here before? Do we already ask that?
I think we already
like 3
asked
times.
that.
Okay. And about what time of the day was he here? Asking questions.
Probably about this time. This is when the most kids are around.
Okay. So I guess we need to go to the young kids and ask them.
How many kids did he ask about?
He
pointed at a handful and just said, what's their story? What's their story? And every time I told a kid a story, he gave me a silver.
I'm not bringing out silver.
But they're
I don't have any.
Whoever it is
Go ahead.
well funded, or
Yeah, that's interesting. You told him about all 4 kids that are missing? Did he ask about those?
Yeah, he asked about them, but I mean, like, he asked about a bunch of other kids too, and they're all still here.
Right.
Those kids, they hung out with a green skin.
Yeah.
But they did some.
No.
How do you know?
We already talked to his dad.
Oh, like he can be trusted?
Have you had his beer? It's delicious. You can trust a man who can make a good beer.
I turned to
So in addition to
Cespedes.
not knowing how to dress, you're an alcoholic. Good to know, you people.
I take another silver from Cespedes and give it to the kid.
Silver? Wait, I didn't have a silver.
Copper. Thank you, and I hope we find the kids alive. If he stops by again,
Send word to the temple. We'll be staying there.
yeah,
That's the Temple of Bahamut.
is that right?
Yes, that is right.
I keep,
That is
I keep
correct.
thinking Baylor.
Yes.
Temple
If I remember.
of
Bahamut.
All
They
right.
wrote this excellent song about dogs being let out, so.
That's terrible. All right.
It was a terrible song, but oh so catchy.
That's a moot point.
It's currently my 4-year-old's favorite song.
Your 4-year-old
Lucky you.
has fantastically
Yeah,
interesting
he even
taste.
he heard it on the radio a couple times, and he can memorize songs pretty easily.
Wow.
And he's singing about getting up on the bar and doing stuff. I'm like, oh man, buddy, you got to stop singing.
You
that.
gotta watch what you listen to then.
It was his grandparents that let him listen. to it.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I guess we go talk to Small Children.
Yeah. Head on over to them.
Okay. So you had the organized play, you had the chaos lane,
Right.
and then over here at this point, it's all very calm. Like there's also quite a few more parents standing on either end, and 1 or 2 kind of milling about in the middle.
Just slightly more supervised.
Yeah.
I'll go up to the parents first and bow deeply and basically let them know we're here for official business. We're trying to locate some children that were missing 3 days ago. And we wanted to know if any of the children here could answer any questions, or if parents could answer any questions that were around 3 days ago about this time.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion.
I ain't doing it. Jeez. We do have the missive.
I would say, no, really, we're official deputies in this matter.
Yeah.
We would appreciate your...
It's not a matter of who's cooperating,
No,
but
no.
did you ask the person who knows the answers? It's one of those kind of things. This because in this game, persuasion also falls under gather information.
Right.
I did not get it.
What'd you roll?
A 2.
A 2 total.
That would have been 6 total.
Okay. The guy you talked to, he's like, yeah, I heard about the kids, and that's why I'm here now, and several of the other dads as well, were those of us who can take a day off from work. That's kind of what we're doing. The real people who are here most of the time are the old women sitting in their balconies. If anybody saw anything, it would have been one of them, but I don't have any information. You can ask Stan. This is something that he usually does, but he points to another gentleman. He's like, I got nothing for you, though.
Okay. We'll go over
But
to
thank
Stan.
you for looking into this.
Yeah, go over to Stan.
Okay.
Before we leave that gentleman, I tell him we're looking for a man with a spider on his shirt, young guy, and possibly a bald-headed, bearded guy with a scar on his neck that may have had something to do with this. So keep an eye out for them.
He nods. Thanks,
and
you.
alert us we're staying at the Temple of
Bahamut.
Bahamut.
To be perfectly honest, I'm grabbing the nearest guard.
Where's Stan? Stan
Yeah.
the man.
Go find Stan.
Yeah. Stan is a much older gentleman, so it's clearly he doesn't work as much if he did, or if he does, and he's just kind of sitting on a few crates nearby and just watching the kids.
Stan.
Hello.
Bow deeply.
He does so in kind, and you can hear the popping of his bones as he does it.
Stan, we're investigating the missing children from a few days ago, and we heard you may have seen the 2 individuals who we are looking for, a young man with a spider on his shirt and an older man, bald beard, and a scar down his neck.
I don't know anything about spider shirts, but a man kind of fitting that description. He was down here early evening a few nights ago. I'd say most of the children had gone home by then. I myself was starting to walk my way home.
Was he by himself or was he with anyone else?
I didn't really pay him much mind. Just what reminded me was what you said, the scar on his neck. It was very jagged. Whatever did it was very brutal.
You said most of the kids had gone home, but there were still a couple left.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not all parents are able to come and collect their children when it's time for them to go home. So they go when they're ready to go.
I understand. But of those who were left, do you remember if the 4 children who were missing were among them?
The twins, twin elf children.
Dwarven boy, little human girl.
I do believe little Maggie was here, and Elle. Yeah, I think his name is Magnus.
Oh.
He can't really say his name, so we just call him Maggie.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
It's kind of a cute name for a dwarf. I like it.
Head back to Ash's booth.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this has been about an hour.
Yeah.
The swarm has gone down, and you see him. He's still actively cooking and chopping, and he has an assistant now with him who's also taking and filling orders, and he's wiping sweat from his brow as he does so.
Just going to stand back into the crowd and just watch him until he notices us.
Yeah. And he does. Because he's constantly scanning the crowd, trying to bring people
anticipate
in.
and fill orders, yeah.
Anticipate and fill orders. He sees you, and he's like, back for some lunch?
Ash,
Yes.
we are now looking for your children, the children that are missing. Do you have anybody that would wish you harm or wish to use this in some sort of retaliation for anything?
Myself, no. Hey, James, I'm gonna take a break. And he moves you away from the stall. He goes, no, in terms of enemies, no, I didn't think it was anything that drastic. I honestly just assumed Elle went to a friend's house, and we just haven't heard from her. It's my new wife's daughter. Eleanor's my stepdaughter.
Newlyweds?
Not that new. Maybe
Wears off
2
quick,
years.
doesn't it?
What?
Wears off quick, doesn't it?
Well, she's my third, and I'm her second, so neither of us have that newlywed smell.
Newlywed smell. Do you have any other children?
No. Ashamed to say it, but I'm not capable.
There are worse things.
He just kind of has this real somber look on his face as he, almost like he kind of choked on the words as they came out.
Is there anything else we need to ask?
I don't know.
Seth, you got anything?
No.
Where do the elves live? The elf parents.
They live more towards the intersection of the city. The father does some more political work around here, backing this candidate, making sure this law gets passed, and then reaping some of the tax benefits from it. I don't understand it. Doesn't seem honest to me. He's...
Okay.
So that's where... and he does. He gives you an address.
Okay, thank you. We might be back. If you have any information, we're staying at the Church of Baphomet.
Okay. Just a heads up on the elves. The parents are interested in preserving their line, not their heirs' lives.
Okay.
Do they have other children?
Yeah, they have an older boy, but he's away at the Barnet colleges. And the twins, are the youngest, and they have a roof to go home to, but absentee parents. I don't know how much information about them you'll get from them, but if any of the kids had a parent that had an enemy, it'd be them.
Sounds about right. Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
I guess head in that direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
It does take you better part of an hour to get there, just navigating the city. So you're getting to probably about 2 o'clock when this hits. You got to remember, you covered a lot because you went from...
Right.
You started at dawn.
Yep. Well, ooh, hey, I'm still carrying gin. All right.
And some wine.
And, yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yep.
It's thirsty work, all this
We need
walking around and talking to people. Just saying.
All right.
But we need to know if we need to talk to the elven parents, because if anybody was going to receive a ransom demand, it'd be them.
But they're funding this whole thing, correct?
Yeah, but maybe they think it's cheaper to send somebody out to find them than to pay whoever has.
Okay.
I'm just
that's
throwing out options. If they really don't care about their kids, and they're the ones with money.
Okay. Go knock on the door.
All right.
Is it an estate or is it guarded or?
It's think
Victorian townhome.
Okay.
And the door is answered by a very well-dressed gnome.
No, nice. Bow deeply. We are looking to speak with Arun and Thilvendor about the missing children. We have the missive from the local law enforcement.
Official business.
The gnome asks, "May I see it?" Okay. Ah, yes. There's my lord and lady seal down there. He rolls it back up, tucks it under one arm, and gestures you to come in.
Okay.
Keep an eye on that arm and don't let him out of my sight. Her. You said
Him.
Him. Okay,
As you,
sorry, him. Yeah.
Small voices. I'm a big man. It's kind of, I have one.
It's fine. I actually misheard you the first time. So it's
As you guys come in, he closes the door behind you, and he takes you into a parlor off of the entrance and seats you. He goes, "My lord is currently out, but the lady is within residence. I will go to her now.
Thank you.
Please wait here." And he leaves. Is gone for a moment, comes back, and stands at attention to the door and goes, "Now presenting Lady Arun."
I stand up.
I'm already standing. I never sat down.
And she walks in, and as she does, he hands her the missive that she unrolls, reads aloud to you. "Wanted. Investigation of missing children. Children listed below. Magnus." And then he continues to go down through it, rolls it back up, hands it back to you, and goes, "I understand you have some questions for your investigation."
Yes, and I bow. We are looking to see if there's any political enemies, anybody would want to see your children harmed or hold them for ransom that you might know of, or have they been ransomed?
We have not received any ransom notes. My husband has numerous political enemies, both here and out of the city.
Okay.
We would assume that if there was going to be a political ransom, we would have heard of one by now.
Okay. Anyone associated with the symbol of a spider that you know of offhand?
You see her kind of take this
On a red,
dramatic look to the side.
on a red.
She goes, "There are multiple religious zealot organizations that use the spider, as well as, various thieving and bandit camps. Without knowing specifically what spider it is, it'd be hard to say, and even then, those are outside my circles."
Insight.
Roll for it.
14.
Kind of hard to get a full read, but you know that dramatic look was not for anything other than drama. She was not actually deterred or thrown off by the mention of the spider,
Yeah.
but dramatic look is dramatic.
This is why. I'm talking to myself in a corner. That's why I hate.
There was also another gentleman that was possibly involved who was bald with a beard and had a nasty, jagged scar down his neck. Does this person sound familiar to you? The other person was a young blonde.
She kind of hand over her chest, laughing. Sounds like the villain of a romance novel.
Quite possibly.
Now I'm laughing to myself in a corner.
Though a lady never reads those haughty books.
I'm sure you don't.
The laughter stops. The hand drops. Do you have any other real questions?
Would any of these possible political or otherwise enemies of yours have anything to do with the dwarven blacksmith who runs the fights down below, or the
Orc runs the fights. The dwarven blacksmith.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The blacksmith?
No. Orc tavern keeper
That's
runs
what
the
it is.
fights.
Or tavern.
The dwarf blacksmith or the textilist? Because they were obviously looking for people's parents and what they do.
I don't know of any blacksmith or textilist, though if there's an orc running a bar down in Undertown, that's savagey people.
Possibly, but
If you can even call them that.
they run fights for money.
That sounds
anything-
very orcish.
Was there anything your husband would have been involved with regulating this or making it
Just
legal
betting on it?
or anything like that?
My husband doesn't associate with Undertown. He associates with a real city that has a real income.
Black hair, young spiky guy with young guy with spiky black hair,
Yeah.
red tunic with a spider on it.
Yep.
What time is it in the day? Let's just leave her.
By the time you guys got to her, it's probably close to 3 now.
Yeah. What time is sunset?
What
season are we in?
We'll call it spring. Why not?
Okay.
So sunset would be around 6 o'clock,
Okay.
and the fights are supposed to be 2 hours after
Right.
sunset.
Oh, after sunset. Okay. Right.
Because you gotta wait for everyone gets off work at sunset.
Right. I was thinking 2 hours before sunset, but that's not fine. I had one more question. Whose idea was it to put together this missive? I mean, obviously all the parents were in on it, but whose idea was it to put it up on the board?
I'm not sure whose idea it was, but I know we drafted it. You know, we're the only ones that could write.
Okay.
But you talked to the other parents?
Some human woman came to us.
Yes, we need to talk to her.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
She stands up, walks out.
Wow.
The gnome opens the door for you and gestures for you to leave.
How do you stand living in a house like this? And I walk out the door.
I bow to the gnome and I say, if anything turns up, we're staying at the Temple of Baphomet.
I will notify you forthwith.
Okay. Head out.
Yeah.
And I guess head to the address for Lily's address while the husband's still working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get there as quick as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not far. You literally, like, almost run all the way back to Market. And she actually does have one of the overlooking balconies of the, she lives in an apartment, and you go up the apartment, and it does actually overlook the...
Oh, the crossroads?
The crossroads.
Oh, okay. Well, that was convenient. Maybe we should have... Whatever.
address first.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Go knock on the door.
She answers,
Bow deeply.
yes, can I help you?
Lily, we are here looking for the missing children that were taken or were removed 2 days ago.
The missing children who went missing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
please, come in. Come in.
Go in. We've talked to just about everybody involved, all the parents. You're our last stop. And we have heard that there were 2 gentlemen possibly involved. One was a young man with spiky black hair and wearing a red tunic with a spider on it. And the other one was an older bald man with a beard with a scar down his neck that were here about 3 days ago in the early evening asking questions about the children and their parents. Do you have any information for us? Is there anything you can tell us about that day or what time you found out they were missing or if there was any skirmish in the crossroads?
I don't know of any skirmish. I was working late again, and I noticed that it was well past sundown and supper when my baby girl wasn't home. And I mean, it's literally just right up the stairs. So I ran downstairs and started looking through the alleys for her. And you see her start rocking back and forth, and she's holding this little wooden horse. And she's like, and all I found, and she starts producing was this, just lying on the ground. It's her favorite. She doesn't go anywhere without it. And that's when I ran to the guards, started talking to them, and I just thought maybe she dropped it and she went, she took Magnus home because she likes to be responsible for her little friend like that. And so I went and checked with them, and they hadn't seen their son either. And she just starts to break more and more down as she tells you the events of the day.
Yeah. Put my hand on her shoulder,
Yeah, I'm like, I keep maybe, like, but not, I
petting
don't,
her head.
or just not touching.
And just like each
weird,
touch
I want
almost
to-
seems, while intentionally to be healing and therapeutic, almost seems to be making the weight more real for her. And you see her just start to crumble below.
Yeah, I'm not touching, but I don't. I did have one. Where did you find? Was her horse in the crossroads below, or did you find it somewhere else?
And she just kind of takes a deep breath. It was in the crossroads in the section she always plays in.
Okay.
It's supposed to be safe for my baby.
Yes. We will find her.
Please.
Reach out and ask her for it and tell her that we'll give it to her when we find her. The horse.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh.
That's got to be a big roll, man.
Yeah.
18.
She is very hesitant, but then looking up at you and your strength and noticing the symbol of Bahamut, she chooses to trust you, and she lets you know, she's like, please give this to my baby girl.
I will. No. Yeah.
Get up and leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before this gets.
She does not see you out. She sits there shivering.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's so weird, and I hate it. We need to find these children so I don't have to talk to their parents who are all emotional again.
Okay. Close the door, head outside. I guess head back to the
Yeah,
you-
go back to the
underworld
yeah.
or whatever it's called. Undercity.
Yep.
I guess call it there.
Yeah, we can call it there.
Downtown.
There are all these places you can go. Downtown.
Undertown.
Cool.
All right.
I like the system.
All right. And close. But yeah, so that's the skill check and RP side of the thing.
Yeah.
Next session, there'll be combat because you're literally going to take
Yeah.
You're going to the fight bar at fight night. I wonder what'll happen.
Good question. Nobody can tell. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm having a lot of fun with this character.
I am too. I like this. It's been a while since I played.
So
And she has a reason that she's as young as she is and just trying to not care about things.
oh yeah, no, I assume that all your characters have reasons for things.
Yeah. I didn't realize how just fascinated by the world I was going to go there. But yeah, I'm having fun. Well, the stupid thing is that I'm following natural instincts that I would normally have to curb as a human person, and I've just decided that she doesn't. It's
She doesn't have to curb this. She can go full tilt. Let's go.
also, she's an elf, so maybe she's just weird.
Well, the thing is, like, you have the dynamic of the other actual wood elf there to look at.
I know, which is.
It's all good.
But the very different thing, because this character was very much grew up in the middle of the woods, away from civilization, like in the wood elf village. But too many backgrounds.
Oh yes.
Very nice.
The opening and closing music, Epic, is property of Ben Sound. Check them out at bensound.com for more royalty-free music. Dungeons & Dragons is property of Wizards of the Coast. Please visit dnd.wizards.com to purchase your copy of the game today. This has been a production of Gaming Without Gaming, all rights reserved. You may download only material displayed and identified on the site as specifically available for downloading. Such material is for non-commercial, personal use only, provided you also retain all copyright and other proprietary notices contained on the materials. You may not, however, distribute, modify, transmit, reuse, repost, or use the content of the site for public or commercial purposes, including the text, images, audio, and video without our written permission.